Well, welcome. My name is Mary Ann Johnson, and I thank you for the opportunity to serve as your ASN president this year. You and hundreds of other members ensured that ASN made much progress this year to ensure the sustainability of ASN and our value to current and future generations of members. My priorities involved strategic planning and visioning, leading the successful launch of Nutrition 2018, promoting ASN's premier journals, enhancing the value of ASN, and advocating for increased research funding. And we'll look at each of these on the next slides. First is to endorse the strategic planning and visioning, and this involves supporting the planning for ASN 2028, which is the 100-year anniversary of ASN, that will result in a strategic plan presented and approved by the Board of Directors. I am very grateful to Andrew Prentice as chair of the Strategic Oversight Committee for his visionary leadership and hard work. The SOC has been culling through a wealth of ideas from our summit in December 2017 and is crafting a preliminary vision for 2028. The heart and soul of ASN is nutrition science, and we will never change this. And we are all committed to increasing investments in programs and services that benefit our members working to advance nutrition science to help the general public. But perhaps there is an opportunity to more directly use our nutrition science knowledge to help the general public. How can we take our great nutrition science and disseminate it more widely to help improve public health around the world? And these are some of the ideas and concerns that the Strategic Oversight Committee is continuing to work on. ASN 2028 is all about defining our path and shaping our future. And there are two main parts of this initiative. First, there is the 10-year governance review. This is a check-in from our merger 10 years ago. This governance task force is led by former President Sharon Donovan and Samin Madani and other ASN leaders, Cindy Davis, Laura Caulfield, Ed Saltzman, Francis Coletta, and Marion Newhauser, also a previous president. The second area is Vision 2028, and this started in 2017 to explore how our world is changing and to identify key future areas of ASN's focus. So Vision 2028, we've been very busy from January through early April 2018, and we have this input from the December 2017 Summit's 100 participants. The Strategic Oversight Committee planning team is developing a preliminary vision for 2028. And in late April to June 2018, this preliminary vision will be shared with members and stakeholders on our ASN website, so members can make input through electronic feedback, and also at our Nutrition 2018 in-person meeting, we will want formal and informal input from all of you. In the summer of 2018, we'll use your input in the SOC to prepare a final Vision 2028 recommendation for the ASN board. And in fall 2018, we expect we'll have a final vision for 2028 that will be submitted to the ASN board for approval. We'll roll it out to our members and stakeholders, and this will serve as a foundation for planning and budgeting in 2019 and beyond. Another big area of visioning and strategic planning has focused on the best practices in nutrition science to earn and keep the public's trust. This is a report that was prepared by the independent Blue Ribbon panel, and they have a report and recommendations that we received in March. This report is undergoing peer review with AJCN, and relevant ASN committees are evaluating recommendations and proposing next steps for implementation to the ASN board. There will be multiple opportunities for member input on ASN next steps because our member input is extremely important to how we move forward. To learn more about this report and its recommendations, I urge you to attend the ASN Canadian Nutrition Society session called Ensuring Trust in Nutrition Science. It will be held 1:30 to 3 on Saturday, June 9th in room 304 at Nutrition 2018. The session will be chaired by James House from the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, Patrick Stover with Texas A&M, Catherine Witecki from Iowa State University, and Esther Myers, who's the CEO of EF Myers Consulting, Inc. And this will be one of the most important opportunities for our members to learn about the report's recommendations. And this session will also be recorded on the ASN and posted on the ASN member website so that everyone can see it and make input. This report would not have been possible with the incredible Blue Ribbon panel. So thank you, Blue Ribbon panel. That was chaired by Dr. Garza and with members Vanita Bali, Catherine Bertini, Eric Campbell, Edward Cooney, Michael McGinnis, Sylvia Rowe, Robert Steinbrook, Catherine Witecki, and the ex officio members were Patrick Stover and John Courtney, with the wonderful assistance of ASN staff member Sarah Olhurst. Another initiative this year was to lead the successful launch of Nutrition 2018. And I hope you will or are at this meeting, Nutrition 2018 in Boston from June 9th through 12th. And thanks to the efforts of thousands of ASN members, we are heading toward a great meeting. I hope that you, like me, are already part of this inaugural event. If not, I invite you to make history with us. Well, who will you see at this meeting? You will see thousands of ASN members. We already have over 2,800 people registered, and I think we will exceed 3,000 attendees. This represents members from the full spectrum of nutrition in academia, industry, MDs and RDs, and clinical practice, sport nutrition professionals for both professional and university teams, government, public health, and policy professionals and nonprofits from around the world. True to our legacy, most registrants have a primary focus in basic science and clinical research, population science, community and public health, and global nutrition. We have made great strides in attracting more of our colleagues in patient care, clinical practice, and translation and communication of nutrition science. Exciting so far, 30% will be first-time attendees, and 25% are international participants. So outside of the US are Canada, China, South Korea, Brazil, Mexico, and also registrants from the United Kingdom. The cross-disciplinary partnerships will be very exciting for you to see in action. And we also were responsive to our members' concerns about cost. So our price is lower than past annual meetings, and we have special pricing for members, students, those who are emerging or early career, as well as U.S. government, unemployed, retired members as well. Well, what will you do at the meeting? You'll have over 2,000 presentations of new research to choose from. There are over 80 featured symposia, 19 sponsored satellites, and a very new feature called the Hub. And there'll be posters and a poster theater, a science stage, ASN Live, a career center, an exhibit hall with interactive exhibits, and opening reception, and lunch. I'm so very pleased with the engaged member input through multiple avenues that has helped create such a rich and inviting meeting. The third area of this year's focus is to promote ASN's premier journals in nutrition research. So the main areas we've worked on is to continuing to invest in our premier publications, to explore opportunities for developing new evidence-based products, and to identify opportunities to provide science-based information for physicians, other health practitioners, and educators. So first, let's talk about our transition to Oxford University Press. A huge thank you goes out to the ASN staff, our editors, our reviewers, and all of our authors, because there are so many changes that are still ongoing this year. For example, this has resulted in the launch of a new submission system. We're also developing individual marketing plans for each journal, and this will help with thinking about how to retain our readers, how to be more involved in global marketing and reach, including emerging markets in Asia, Latin America, and other countries. Also, we have access to a much broader range of digital marketing tools that can help with our strategies. So we have content for basic scientists through practitioners. So we're thinking about how can we repackage some of our content to make it more available to practitioners. We hope to increase online usage and dissemination of your papers to a wider audience. We also have the capacity to improve our social media advertising and our content campaigns. And we expect all of this will grow our subscriptions, our international sales, and our revenue globally, while of course maintaining our scientific quality. The fourth area is to enhance the value of ASN to our current and our potential members in all career stages. So some of the areas we focused on this year include our ASN NutriLink, identifying continuing education opportunities, and engaging with academic leaders, especially in ANDP and many other organizations, to help broaden our scope and increase our impact. So let's first look at ASN NutriLink, our new online collaborative community. Thank you to everyone who is participating by introducing yourself, asking questions, and providing information about careers and jobs. So you may have a position you need someone to work for, or you may be searching for a position, and ASN NutriLink can help you with that. We have a great start this year, and so let us know how we can make ASN Nutrient even better to serve your needs. Another important area we worked on this year is by identifying continuing education opportunities, especially for our practitioners. And I want to make you aware of one of these, which is the National Board of Physician Nutrition Specialists, or NBPNS. So by working with this organization, we have a memorandum of understanding that we will provide administrative support. And what NBPNS does is it has the credentialing standards for physicians seeking recognition as physician nutrition specialist. And this certification as an NBPNS diplomat means that a physician is competent in scientifically sound, evidence-based medical nutrition. And I see this, and so does the board, as a win-win for translational opportunities among physicians and other practitioners and scientists. And I know many of our members have for years said, I wish we could work closer with physicians, and this will really help us do that in a very meaningful way that can influence patient care. Another area of enhancing our value to ASN is to engage more closely with academic leaders in the Association of Nutrition Departments and Programs. So what ASN does is, again, they provide administrative support, and ANDP is well prepared to share expertise to enhance academic units in nutrition across the country. ANDP can also serve as a resource for stakeholders, be they in government, or their legislators, and industry. And also importantly, ANDP can enhance engagement of students and postdocs in ASN. The fifth area is to advocate for increased research funding for nutrition across the broad constituencies of our membership. So some of these areas are return on investment. And I know this is very important for all of us to think about, how does my research, no matter where I am on the continuum of basic science through applied and community research, how do we save healthcare dollars? Also, meeting and educating key leaders and stakeholders about nutrition, communicating funding priorities, and recommending ASN members to serve on various committees. So let's first look at demonstrating Return on investment from nutrition research. One way ASN does this is to share information related to ROIs from nutrition research and its advocacy efforts, showing the link between public health and nutrition and decreased healthcare costs with nutrition as a prevention measure. We're also meeting and educating key leaders and stakeholders about nutrition. So some very recent examples are on April 24th with the Farm Bill Hill Day. There were 42 individuals that met with approximately 40 congressional member offices on nutrition research. And on May 1, there was a congressional delegation, including Representative Anthony Brown, that visited the Beltsville Human Nutrition Research Center. And here there was meetings with ASN members who run the center and its laboratories. Another area is to communicate funding priorities and opportunities from NIH's National Nutrition Research Roadmap. And Marian Newhouser, our past president, led a very important initiative where ASN created a 4-part webinar series on the NIH Nutrition Research Roadmap. And you can still find this very important series on ASN's website. Also, we share relevant funding opportunities via ASN's policy e-newsletter once they are announced. So be sure and read that newsletter. It contains very important information. Another advocacy effort that's very important is to recommend ASN members to serve on study sections, review panels, and other panels. So for example, ASN is preparing nominations of our members for the 2020 dietary guidelines for Americans. So often what our members do is review the science so that we have science-based and evidence-based recommendations going forward. ASN also maintains a database of members willing to serve on NIH study sections that is regularly updated and shared with program officers. And when we sent that call out for ASN members to do that, we had hundreds of members step forward and want to be study section members. And this will help all of us gain expertise in reviewing nutrition-related and food-related research and helping move our scientific agendas forward. We have also invited scientific review officers and members of nutrition-related study sections to take part in Nutrition 2018. And if you're one of those members or guests, I am very excited to have you at the meeting. Well, I would like to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to serve as your president this year. I've got to meet so many members I didn't know before and so many members that have been long-term friends and colleagues. It's good to see you in action, and I just appreciate so much all that you do. So as you can tell, ASN continues to be on the move, successfully moving forward and growing with tremendous energy, passion, and commitment of our members in the pursuit of excellence in nutrition research, practice, and education through the creation, translation, and dissemination of the highest quality science-based nutrition information. And that is what we are all about. So everyone in ASN is a leader, no matter what you do. You may be a student, a postdoc, a faculty, working in industry, working in government, or working in healthcare. And all of what you do is so important to us. Next, let me turn the presentation over to my colleague and our secretary of the ASN board, Dr. Susan Percival.
Thank you, Marianne, and thanks so much for your passion and leadership during your term as president of ASN. I am so pleased to report that ASN's membership continues to be very, very strong, with membership exceeding over 6,500 in March of 2018. Our members are the lifeblood of our society and the enablers of everything we do, from creating new nutrition knowledge and publishing in our ASN journals to submitting our record-breaking abstracts to Nutrition 2018, to presenting the hottest new science at our annual meeting and throughout the year with our increasing number of webinars, to growing our science policy and advocacy activities, to where we are now considered the go-to nutrition organization for policymakers in the U.S. And we are increasing our policy and advocacy role on the global public health stage as well. Welcoming and engaging a growing membership can be a challenge, ensuring all feel welcome and have a home within the larger, broad field of nutrition. I want to especially thank the leadership, Heather Leidy, our risk director, and all of our committee and membership engagement chairs of councils and interest groups for their tireless hard work and passion to making every new and exciting member of ASN feel welcome, and that ASN is the place they can come to help them advance their career. The growth in membership at ASN has not just been an accident. It's because each of you, our members, have helped us to understand your current needs and desires and have given your time, energy, and resources to enable us to develop and continue stellar products and services that lead to even more members seeing the value of joining and engaging with ASN. Thank you so much. We have a number of achievements in 2017. And here's just a few highlights. ASN continues to advance our online member-to-member collaboration platform, ASN Nutrilink. We have big plans to continue to utilize this technology platform in the next year. The ASN member engagement is at an all-time high. We have increased scholarships to attend our Nutrition 2018, to join our society, and in recognition for excellence in nutrition science and practice. We are very gratified to see ASN members continue to volunteer at a greater pace to help us achieve our mission by serving as reviewers for our fantastic journals, by presenting educational programming at our educational meetings and webinars, by contributing to our ASN Foundation, by advancing our social media presence to provide science-based nutrition information, and by serving in the increasing number of volunteer opportunities to help ASN grow. ASN MentorLink is our new mentoring platform where we match mentors and mentees to help our younger members advance in their careers. It's interesting to note that our mentors report that they learn just as much and even more from their mentees. So this is a great program for ASN members. Thanks to each of you for being a great ASN membership ambassador. We have increased the membership by 30% just between 2015 and 2017. We've increased immensely since the societies merged, and the American Society of Association Executives classifies ASN in the top 3% of growth rates for all membership of our associations and societies around the world. In fact, we have members in over 100 countries around the globe. As you can see, ASN is truly a member-centric and engaged global society. Here's a number of actions we have taken over the past year. Just a selection. There's many, many more than this. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each of our members and all of my exceptional board colleagues for the opportunity to serve our great society. As my term as secretary comes to a close, I want to thank each of you and report that your society, our society, is increasing our strength and value, advancing our mission. Now, it's my great privilege to introduce my board colleague and treasurer for ASN, Dr. Paul Coates.
Well, thank you, Sue, and thanks for all of your excellent leadership as the secretary for the past 3 years. It's now my pleasure to present the treasurer's report that highlights ASN's strategic financial management to support members and nutrition science. ASN is a strong and growing society with an important mission and an ever-growing membership. You've heard Sue Percival highlight that we're not only growing larger, but we're also growing younger as a society, with increasing membership of recent graduates and young postdocs. It's never been more important, therefore, to ensure the sustainability of ASN so that it will be there to meet their needs throughout their careers. You can see that we've nearly doubled our net assets from 2005 as we've continued to grow our programs. Net assets are the equivalent of our own individual savings and investments. We maintain them for that rainy day in the future when we'll need them, or for that investment opportunity that will help ASN continue to grow and make progress towards its mission. Although we ensure that we are liquid in terms of meeting our operational needs, Any excess cash is invested to ensure that we earn income while we look out for programs or technical advances that can grow ASN. The Finance and Audit Committee has worked tirelessly to find the right balance between making wise, appropriate, and sometimes difficult program decisions so that we ensure the future growth and sustainability of ASN for our next generation of nutrition leaders. ASN is strong with our growing membership and innovative leaders and staff. We feel comfortable that we've achieved the appropriate balance in investing in our continuing programs and services while adding new ones that benefit our members, ensuring all the while that we have enough in the bank in the event of bumps in the road in the future. In 2017, our revenue exceeded $9.4 million, up from $3.76 million in 2005. As you've heard from Marianne Johnson, 2017 was a particularly busy and productive year for us. ASN's been working on strategic goals that will further enhance our progress towards advancing public health in a global sense through the highest quality nutritional science. One initiative I want to speak a bit more about is the 5-year contract that we recently executed with Oxford University Press to substantially grow the distribution of our journal content and to reduce the costs associated with producing our 4 journals. The scholarly journal industry is in the midst of substantial challenges with consolidation of vendors, cost sensitivities from libraries and institutions, and the ever-present open access issue. Transitions can be hard, and this was a very big one for us. We encountered some unforeseen problems that delayed our publishing in the early part of 2018. But I want to commend our editors and staff for working tireless to get us where we now want to be, publishing on time and on schedule. One key benefit of our new arrangement with OUP is that we ensure the sustainability of our journals in this highly competitive marketplace. I also want to talk briefly about Nutrition 2018. This was another complex decision that the Board of Directors considered and approved several years ago. As Marianne has said, we're gratified that this inaugural meeting is breaking all records for abstracts and for attendance. I also want to commend all of the strong ASN members who worked tirelessly as Nutrition 2018 ambassadors to develop stellar programming and networking opportunities. If you haven't registered yet, there's still time to do so, although we're quickly approaching our capacity. We've been hard at work to continue to provide increased access and value to our ASN membership. Current developments in nutrition, our first open access journal, has had a seamless launch on time and on budget. I want to send a special thanks to Jack Odell and to his terrific editorial staff for their leadership and hard work on this new journal. ASN On Demand was mentioned in last year's business meeting, and I'm pleased to say that it's been launched and is now available. If you're like me, you aren't able to get to every one of the excellent sessions you want to hear about at our annual meeting. Now you don't have to. You can access the information through ASN On Demand. This is a great tool that can help us stay up to date, and it provides us with resources we can use and share in our workplaces and classrooms. We've seen this in particularly high demand by many of our colleagues who reside outside of the United States. A truly special accomplishment has been our membership growth. You heard about this earlier, and I want to offer my congratulations to Sue Percival, the membership committee, and every one of you who's an ASN member and who's recruited a member. As treasurer, can I advocate for on to 10,000 members? This brings us to another product launched this year, the ASN NutriLink. This tool allows members to engage in conversations and hopefully provides the scientific community with a wealth of knowledge about nutrition, as well as increased networking opportunities. Finally, we on the Finance and Audit Committee have partnered with ASN staff to improve efficiency and to ensure an improved budget and audit timeline. For the first time, ASN was able to finalize the audit during the third quarter of the year, which also triggered the beginning of the next budget year, which was approved in the first week of December of 2017. On the last slide, I just want to recognize the members and the staff of the Finance and Audit Committee. These are a superb group of people. So, in closing, growth in membership, in revenues, and in assets. All of this points to emerging needs and opportunities, and now along with the resources to implement them. It's my pleasure to introduce Catherine Field, the ASN incoming president.
Great. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Marianne and Sue, for your outstanding leadership that you've provided to ASN. It's really an honor and a privilege to assume the position of president of ASN. I have been a member of ASN since the early 90s, and I know how important it was and continues to be in advancing my career. I'm very excited about continuing the great work of my predecessors, Marianne Newhouser and Marianne Johnson, and thank them for the leadership and mentorship that they provided me during my term as Vice President-elect and Vice President of ASN. Next slide. I have 4 presidential priorities that I'll be focusing on during my term between 2018 through to June 2019. These are supporting the implementation of policies and procedures that ensure the trust in ASN by members, the public, and other valued stakeholders. Supporting members by ensuring that membership in ASN is relevant to their needs. Supporting the journals and other activities and products of the Society. Facilitating changes in ASN governance model and beginning the implementation of the new strategic plan, Visions 2028. I will speak to each of these briefly. My first priority is supporting the implementation of policies and procedures that ensure the trust in ASN. There may be no more important issue facing nutrition scientists today than ensuring that the research that we do and disseminate has the trust of all of the stakeholders who use our information. These stakeholders include those that use our research to define the direction they go in their research, to make policy decisions such as nutrition recommendations and practice guidelines, to make funding decisions and set priorities for funding, and to the public who make dietary choices based on our research. The proliferation of information enabled by current and emerging technologies has served to confuse science-based nutrition information with personal choices and preferences. Anyone can use the internet to post a blog, tweet their magic cures, give a nutrition advice, and even give their personal non-science-based opinion of peer-reviewed research findings. This has served to confuse the public and erode trust in nutrition science as a whole. As the nutrition experts, we have to assume some of the responsibility for this erosion of trust. Studies that are not carefully designed, results that are overly generalized, and impacts that are voiced greater than the data supports serve to promote this culture of uncertainty about what the current evidence really is. I want to build on the Blue Ribbon Panel's work on trust in nutrition science and hear from ASN members and stakeholders how we as a society can not only ensure that we are doing everything we can to uphold the highest standards in nutrition science, but what we can do to help out other stakeholders, the policymakers, the health professionals, the industry scientists, and the public receive science-based nutrition information. Every ASN member is important to our society. One of the focuses during my presidency will be to ensure that all our members are receiving the support they want from ASN. There are two groups I'd like to focus on specifically supporting during my presidency, and this includes our early and mid-career members. I plan to champion programs and processes through partnering with ASN's growing early career member interest research group. The purpose being to ensure that ASN membership is relevant, useful, and financially accessible. Through discussions I've already had with this group, this would include assisting with career development of this next generation of ASN members who are pursuing careers in academia, professional practice, education, and industry. I plan to partner with representatives from this early career interest group and our membership committee to help us better understand their needs and develop and deploy programs and services that help these members both find the best career for their skills and start on that path to success. A second area I'm passionate about are the mid-career researchers, clinicians, educators, and scientists. This group of our society is currently at risk as they struggle with funding challenges and other uncertainties in their positions. This group is more difficult to identify, and I'll champion providing opportunities for leadership training and try to ensure that they have a strong voice in the society and its activities. This will include making the meetings more accessible and relevant to their career trajectory and to the needs of their trainees. This group needs a bridge and a helping hand to move from being the early career scientists to growing into successful established nutrition professionals and our future leaders of ASN. I also plan to continue to explore and expand partnerships with our society. This may include academic societies and organizations that our members belong to. They include interacting with, perhaps through joint membership, scientific meetings, and scholarly activities with other groups. It might include clinical nutrition societies, country-specific nutrition societies, of course, our FASEP partner societies, the Academy of Dietetics, and other nutrition, public, and international health societies and organizations. My third priority I'd like to do is to continue the leadership of the last two presidents have done in promoting our ASN journals, Journal of Nutrition, AJCN, Advances in Nutrition, and our newest journal, Current Developments in Nutrition. During the year of my presidency, Dr. Denny Beard will step down as editor of AJCN, and a new editor will be selected. I'd like to personally thank Denny for the many years of service to making AJCN a premier nutrition journal, and thank him for agreeing to continue as editor through the new editor search period. I will help ensure that all our journals maintain their mandate to publish the best and most rigorously conducted science. This year will be our first ASN annual meeting independent of EB, and I will ensure the continued success of the meeting and work with staff to ensure that it meets the needs of all of our members. And finally, I can't think of a more turbulent but exciting time for our field of nutrition and for our society than that of the present. The pace of change in technology, in information, in science has never been faster than it is today, but so are the competitive pressures of academic society. It is the right time to ensure that our society and our increasing and diverse membership is ready for this change. Our previous societal leaders have been excellent in positioning ASN for success. They have made the toughest choices, and our society has reaped the benefits of phenomenal growth in our membership, our journals, and our meetings. My goal is to continue on this excellent work, and with the help of input, advice, and counsel of ASN members, to vision our future into 2028. That will be our 100th anniversary. Not only to plan this, but also to put this vision into action. ASN members' input is essential for us getting this right. We have had some big questions, some mighty challenges in our external environment, some of which have been discussed earlier in this webinar. As ASN releases propositions and drafts for Vision 2028, please let me or any of the board or any committee members know what you're thinking. I look forward to seeing you all at Nutrition 2018. This is our first annual meeting away from EB, and we want to hear your thoughts. I look forward to a really exciting year as president of ASN, and I thank you all for giving me this opportunity.